getting ready for these presentations and the campaign itself, it occurred to me that it would be interesting for me to know something about my opponent who has not served the city at all. And I was looking forward to hearing what he was going to do, what his campaign was going to be tonight. But alas, he's not here. I've lived here for 20 years. Past 4 years, we've accomplished an awful lot. In preparing for this campaign, I tried to go back over 4 years, all of my notes, all of the material that I got being on the city council, and it's box after box. I'm the kind of alderman who sticks his nose in everything. I'm not afraid of doing hard work. I'm semi-retired. And what I've been able to do is take my assignment of being the alderman focused on water, sewer, and drainage problems and apply that in a very meaningful fashion. Again, what sets me apart from my opponent is that I have the experience. I think it's a general consensus that I've been a good alderman, conscientious, hardworking, willing to listen to people, soliciting the opinions of others as well. Among the things that I had a huge list that I was going to bring, and I thought, well, let's try to cut it down a little bit. What I've accomplished so far is I've been fiscally conservative, attempted to control costs by scrutinizing everything that came before the city council. Trying to make sure that we're going to make good quality decisions, and we have. I've challenged and eliminated the $5,000 subsidy for new $400,000 homes. When it was first introduced, I asked, how will the proponents of this know that it works? And the response back to me was, well, we really don't know, but they did it in Manhattan, and they think it might have worked. We finally got rid of it, saving an expenditure that could have accounted easily to about $500,000. As it was, we lost over $200,000. There was a question about whether or not we would be able to use developers to help us with our development process, have them pay for some of the items rather than have the burden go only to the taxpayer. One of the things that I was criticized for was asking for the donation of a 1-acre plot for a possible well on the north side of town, in what we call the ML Realty. They granted it, very willing to do so. And it turns out that an analysis shows that that site is likely to be very productive for a new water well when we need it. I pushed for fiscal transparency by insisting that the city checkbook go online so that when you are interested in finding out what has happened, who got what money for what, you can look at it just as if it were your own checkbook. And in fact, it kind of is your own checkbook. Consistently fought to lower the increased water and sewer rates. We've been frustrated in that what we needed was a majority of 6 people, not 5, the simple majority that we had to have 6 to overcome the mayor's veto. That's been a problem. I think if you elect for mayor, Kelly Turner, Tom, Kelly, for alderman, Samantha Nietzsche, Michelle Heinzelman, 2nd Ward, these are people along with myself who will advocate for the reduction. Hopefully we will have that 6-member majority that will allow us to do what we know can be done. When we looked at the proposal from the CMT engineering company, it was a $57 million project. It didn't make a lot of sense. We brought in Robinson Engineering who had designed our water and sewer system, and they said, there's a lot of this, especially getting the water and storing the water doesn't make sense. We can do it with a minimal expense expenditure. And in fact, rather than spending $25 million for getting the water and storing it, it's $280,000. We've had a surplus of water. Right now, it's very clear that we have more than enough water for an additional 350 to 370 new homes. That's a pretty significant feature, especially when some of the other folks who are not here tonight had advocated that all hell would break loose, we wouldn't have enough water, we wouldn't have enough water pressure, we'd have to have boil orders. In the event we had a fire, who knows what would happen. Well, there's plenty of water. And on top of all of that, the Illinois EPA tells us that we're A-OK, we're in great shape. I pushed, along with Kelly Turner, for the bond program that has allowed us to develop 11 miles this past year and 3 more miles on the roads. And you'll notice that what we did is that we had the selection of the roads be done by the experts, not by the politicians. That was why, as you go through the city, you can see why scattering of all of the road improvements that were done. The smartest way to do it, because those road improvements were the least expensive and the most expedient. We solved the long-standing dangerous flooding problem on 151st and Olympic Lane. My fellow First Ward Alderman dawdled on this for years and did nothing. And I was able to bring it up and push the issue because I was able to identify money that was in the budget that allowed us to take care of it. It is no longer a hazardous intersection. I also voted for ending the red light camera. That $100 fine was embarrassing, and I had never heard anybody in favor of it until we raised the issue of doing away with it. It was happened, I was instituted before I was on the city council. I wouldn't have voted for it then, and certainly wouldn't vote to bring it back. As we go forward, there are 3
I'm
general...
sorry, Mr. Dyke, your time's up.
Pardon?
I'm sorry, your time
Okay,
is...
I thought I had 5 minutes. Thank you very much. I appreciate your I thought I would show you this now. Before all of them are stolen. It's an incredible situation of how many signs